A judge's justice. The battle for truth in Maple Grove. The piercing wail of a medical alert shattered the pre-dawn silence of our home in Maple Grove, a quiet suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was 5:45 a.m. on a crisp October morning in 2024, and my daughter, Emily, was in trouble. At 17, Emily had been managing type 1 diabetes for nearly a decade, but the urgent beep from her continuous glucose monitor signaled a dangerous drop in her blood sugar. As a federal judge with 25 years on the bench, I'd faced countless crises in the courtroom, but nothing compared to the primal fear of rushing to my daughter's side. Little did I know that this moment would ignite a neighborhood war, expose a dangerous prejudice, and transform our community forever. I found Emily in her room, her hands trembling as she fumbled for her glucose tablets. "Dad, I'm at 62 and dropping fast," she said, her voice shaky. I helped her swallow 3 tablets, my heart pounding as I watched her pale face. This was our life constant vigilance, no days off. Emily had been diagnosed at age 8, collapsing during a soccer game with a blood sugar level so high it nearly killed her. Since then, our family has revolved around insulin pumps, carb counting, and the ever-present specter of diabetic emergencies. By 6:15 a.m., Emily's levels had stabilized enough for her to get ready for school. She moved through her routine with the precision of a veteran, checking her glucose monitor, calculating her insulin dose for breakfast, and packing her emergency kit. "I'm going to wait on the porch for Sophie's mom to pick me up," she said, grabbing her phone and testing kit. "My levels are still a bit off, so I'll keep checking." "Smart move, kiddo," I said, giving her a reassuring smile. "Call if you need me." Emily settled on our front porch, her insulin pump discreetly clipped to her waistband, her phone displaying real-time glucose readings. Our property, marked by a low stone wall, was a cozy haven in Maple Grove, a place where kids rode bikes and neighbors waved. Or so I thought. That's when Patricia Conway stormed into our morning like a hurricane. Patricia, the self-appointed queen of the Maple Grove Homeowners Association, had been a thorn in our side for 2 years. She'd fined neighbors for unapproved mailbox colors, reported suspicious lawn ornaments, and once tried to ban holiday lights for being too bright. But her fixation on Emily had grown increasingly vicious. "Get away from my property." Patricia's shrill voice sliced through the dawn. From my kitchen window, I saw her marching across her lawn toward Emily, her face twisted with fury. Emily, still recovering from her low, looked up from her phone, startled. "Mrs. Conway, I'm just sitting on our porch," Emily said calmly, her voice steady despite the stress. She was used to Patricia's rants, but this morning, she was too fragile for a confrontation. "Don't lie to me, you little troublemaker," Patricia snapped, pointing at Emily's insulin pump. "I know what you're doing with that drug equipment. I've been watching you, sneaking around at all hours, probably selling narcotics." My blood ran cold. I stepped outside, my voice firm but controlled. "Patricia, Emily is managing her diabetes. That's an insulin pump, not drug paraphernalia. She's not bothering anyone." "Diabetes." Patricia laughed, a cruel, mocking sound. "That's a convenient excuse for a teenage junkie. I've done my research, Judge Bennett. Real diabetics are old and overweight. She's young and skinny faking it for attention." Emily's hands began to shake, a sign that her blood sugar was reacting to the stress. "Mrs. Conway, I've had diabetes since I was 8, she said quietly. "This pump keeps me alive." "Alive? Please." Patricia stepped closer to our property line, her voice rising. "What kind of father invents a fake illness for his kid? I know what I'm seeing: needles, suspicious devices, and a powerful judge covering it all up." This wasn't the first time Patricia had targeted Emily. Over the past year, she'd called Emily's school to report drug use, her insulin injections, filed a complaint with child services alleging medical neglect, and even tried to have our family investigated for prescription fraud. Each accusation had been dismissed by professionals who understood diabetes, but the harassment was wearing Emily down. She'd started avoiding our yard, hiding her pump under baggy clothes, and feeling ashamed of the condition that kept her alive. "Patricia, this stops now," I said, my tone sharp. "Emily has a serious medical condition. You're harassing her for no reason." "Medical condition?" Patricia sneered. "The only condition she has is being a spoiled brat who's learned to trick people with fake medical gear." Emily's glucose monitor beeped a warning of a stress-induced spike. She reached for her insulin pen to correct it, but Patricia saw the movement and exploded. There, she's shooting up drugs right in front of us. She's so addicted she can't even wait. That's insulin, I said, my voice tight with anger. She needs it to survive, or she could go into diabetic ketoacidosis and die. Die? Oh, spare me the drama. Patricia was practically shouting now. I know a drug addict when I see one. Constant injections, shaking, slurring her words. I'm calling the police to report drug activity and child endangerment. Emily's monitor beeped again, her levels dropping dangerously. Dad, I don't feel good, she whispered, her speech slurring as she sank onto the porch steps. I rushed to her side, recognizing the signs of hypoglycemia. Take 3 more glucose tablets, sweetheart. We'll get you stable. Patricia watched, her eyes narrowing. Look at her high as a kite. Shaking, confused, barely coherent. Those are drug symptoms, not some fake disease. Those are symptoms of low blood sugar, I said, my voice trembling with rage. If her levels drop too low, she could have a seizure or worse. Seizure? You think I'm an idiot? Patricia pulled out her phone, her face triumphant. I'm reporting a teenage drug dealer and a corrupt judge enabling her. This ends today. She dialed 911, her voice dripping with malice. Yes, I need to report drug activity and child endangerment. There's a teenage girl injecting drugs while her father, a federal judge, protects her. Send officers now. She's using drugs right in front of me. I tried to reason with her. Patricia, the police will confirm everything. Emily's medical records, her prescriptions, her glucose dates, all documented. Documents can be faked. Patricia shot back. Rich people like you buy whatever story you want. Doctors can be bribed and prescriptions forged. But I'm exposing the truth. Emily was crying now, her blood sugar swinging wildly. Dad, why does she hate me? I've never done anything to her. Some people are just cruel, sweetheart, I said, helping her check her levels. This isn't about you, it's about her need to feel powerful. Patricia overheard and laughed bitterly. Cruel? I'm protecting this neighborhood from drug dealers, even if they hide behind fake illnesses and powerful fathers. 5 minutes later, 2 police officers, Officer Reynolds and Officer Martinez, arrived, looking puzzled. Ma'am, you reported drug activity? Officer Reynolds asked Patricia. Yes. Patricia pointed at Emily, now sitting calmly on the porch, her levels stabilizing. This girl's been injecting drugs all morning while her father watches. Look at her, she's clearly under the influence. Officer Martinez approached Emily, his tone gentle. Miss, are you okay? I'm fine now, sir, Emily said politely. I had a low blood sugar episode, but my glucose tablets helped. Blood sugar? Officer Reynolds frowned, glancing at me. I stepped forward. Officers, my daughter has type 1 diabetes. She uses an insulin pump and checks her glucose levels regularly. Mrs. Conway mistook her medical equipment for drug paraphernalia. Patricia erupted. He's lying. I've seen her injecting herself multiple times. She's a drug addict, and he's covering for her. Officer Martinez examined Emily's pump and monitor. Sir, these look like legitimate medical devices. Does your daughter have documentation? Of course, I said, handing over Emily's medical ID card and prescription bottles. She's been diabetic for 9 years. Patricia snatched the card from Officer Reynolds' hand. These are fake. Rich people fake disabilities all the time for special treatment. Ma'am, return the card, Officer Martinez said firmly. I will not. Patricia clutched it to her chest. This is evidence of fraud. I'm a certified HOA president. I know suspicious activity when I see it. Officer Reynolds sighed. Ma'am, diabetes is a real condition. Many people use insulin pumps. That's what they want you to believe. Patricia's voice took on a conspiratorial edge. Real diabetics are old and fat. She's young and thinlying. Emily's eyes filled with tears. Why won't she believe me? I almost died when I was diagnosed. I've had diabetes since I was 8. She's a good actress, Patricia said coldly. But I'm not buying this sob story. Officer Martinez had had enough. Ma'am, we verified that this young lady has legitimate medical needs. There's no drug activity here. Then you're all in on it. Patricia accused. Her father's a federal judge. He probably paid you off. Officer Reynolds raised an eyebrow. Did you just accuse us of taking bribes? Patricia doubled down. I'm saying rich people get special treatment. Test her blood for drugs instead of believing their lies. We don't conduct medical tests based on neighbor disputes, Officer Martinez said. This call is unfounded. Unfounded, Patricia screeched. She's a menace, always outside with her medical drama, lowering our property values. That was it. I'd heard enough. Officers, I want to file a harassment complaint against Mrs. Conway. She's been verbally abusing my daughter for her medical